First of our interviews this morning, a man that we've heard about but never had the opportunity to talk to.
Good morning.
Your reputation goes before you there. It's John Davis from Just Cashflow. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning.
Great to have you on the stand. Thank you very much for coming on, being the first guest this morning on
pleasure.
the programme. There's a lot of companies out there that are calling themselves Cashflow or a derivative of, but you're one of the big guys, aren't you? Just Cashflow. Tell us what you guys do.
Okay, primarily our whole business is about supporting growing businesses. We don't say small businesses because they're ambitious businesses. So therefore, even if they are 3, 4, 5 years mature, but are now looking to grow again, those are the companies we wish to support. So therefore, we support them in a traditional product called an alternative to a bank overdraft, because that's what it is all intents and purposes, an overdraft that they can actually use for day-to-day cash requirements. It's not a long-term loan, it's not investment capital, it is working capital. Sure, I mean, it's always well documented. You don't go out of business through a lack of profit, but a lack of cash. And unfortunately, no matter how good you think you are, including ourselves, you plan your cash flow, and I've yet to see one ever projected cash flow actually work, because it conspires against you. If you're starting to succeed, then you start to have to buy more products, service more people, take on more staff, which all takes capital. You believe your customers are going to pay you within a certain amount of time, then they have their issues, and then that becomes delayed, and of course the whole thing moves forward. So without cash, you just don't have a business.
Is it expensive money, John?
Relative. If you're growing, let's take one of our products. We have a product called Wage Roller. One of the biggest issues for directors is making sure they can pay their staff on a Friday if they're paying weekly, or on last Thursday of the month. What Wage Roller does, it allows us to put the funds into their company account on a Thursday morning to pay the wages on a Thursday. So it's there ready for them. So they know they haven't got delays, no issues with the staff, wages are paid. One of their main debtors pays them back that same day as well. So indeed, they didn't need our funds and then sent our funds back to us the same day. The cost to them is zero. Wow. So no man's cost of funds coming in, no cost of funds coming out. For that particular service, we charge 0.5% a month. So on a 10,000 facility, that's around about £10 a week. So for £10 a week, absolutely you can pay the wages as and when they become due.
I mean, that's a very powerful thing for a company to be able to do, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, and for £10. I mean, it's an insurance policy. Like all things, again, what happens if they don't pay it all back? That's fair comment. So therefore, let's assume then they only paid half the funds back that day because only half the funds did come in. On that particular example, the standard cost is approximately £10 interest for the funds being held out overnight until the following day. Again, if you did the sums on that, that's about 0.05. However, the idea is the fact they've only spent literally £10 or £15 to ensure staff get paid. Now, it could be the same thing as paying the VAT on time, HMRC's tax bill on time, or indeed paying for that all-important stock that's got to arrive today to get out of the door tomorrow morning. The one thing we do perhaps that is slightly different is that we are more concerned about who's running the company than the company itself to begin with. We often say companies don't succeed, people do. So therefore, yes, we look at the accounts, yes, we have a look at who they are, what they're doing, but more important to us is who are you? What experience do you have? Do you understand the business you're actually running? Now, in terms of speed, we understand speed is important to the customer as it is to us. The longer we take, the more it costs us as well. We like to be able to sort of make an offer to someone within 24 to 48 hours, but that's due to technology these days. We are described as a fintech, which means we can literally, with your permission, look at you, your business, and everything else that you're doing very, very quickly and assess. And for us, it's knowing that the people who are using our facilities actually know what they're doing. They know what they're getting into. One of our criticisms of many businesses is they just don't understand their own numbers. So they are applying for funds that they don't know if that's what they want or don't want, what they're going to do with it when they've got. So there are no rules on the size of the company. The rules are you someone who knows what you're doing? Are you creditworthy? Is that business going, in your opinion and our opinion, likely to succeed? And that's what we're looking for. We are a secured lender, so therefore we require security in some form, whether that be the invoices the company's using, because that's your debtor book, whether it be one invoice, two invoices, or the whole debtor book, any assets within the company that you've got, such as stock, which has been paid for, not paid for. back to buildings, back to how good the directors are. How fast, to be honest, it's how good is the application. The more information you have, the quicker and easier it is. And to be fair to people, I think they're beginning to get that message. You know, I'm asking for a profit and loss forecast. If they know what you mean, they can usually deliver it quite quickly, or we can talk them through it. But for us, it's they have to understand what they're doing.
About how many people actually use the service?
Right now, we've got just over 5.5 million sitting in the marketplace.
Wow.
Which is, and that should rise to about 30 or 40 million next year. Like all things, most younger companies, or in fact mature companies, believe their bank to be the only source they can go to. Some don't want to go there because it's centralized and they can't speak to anybody. If they haven't got a facility at the moment, they're concerned that it might upset what they've already got with the bank. And if the bank has looked at it and dragged their feet, they're not necessarily aware of where else they can actually go and look. And to be fair, I do understand for many of them, they think, oh, they look online and they're afraid of being caught out or hidden costs and charges, or signing up to something that goes on forever and a day that they can't get out of. So there's a lot of responsibility for people like ourselves as well to start that education process. We're working or trying to work with the people like the Growth Accelerator program right now, and other people where we just literally are getting as much information into the marketplace as possible. So busy executives, and they are busy people, they're bombarded by messages all over the place. They're often trying to do 2 or 3 jobs at the same time, but at least they think, oh yes, okay, that's interesting, that's worth exploring.